Marcus Chen had been running his small soup kitchen in the industrial district of New Jakarta for 15 years when they first appeared. 3 children, no older than 8 or 9, with skin that shimmered faintly purple under the flickering streetlights. Their clothes were tattered, their eyes hollow with hunger, and they spoke in a language he'd never heard before. He didn't ask questions. He simply ladled hot stew into bowls and set down fresh bread, just as he did for every hungry soul who stumbled through his doors. The children ate ravenously, their strange, delicate fingers trembling as they brought spoons to their lips. When they finished, the tallest one looked up at Marcus with eyes that seemed to hold galaxies within them. She pressed her small hand to her chest, then to his, and whispered something that sounded like starlight breaking. Then they were gone. Marcus thought about them often over the years, wondering if they'd survived, if they'd found their way home, wherever home was. He never saw them again, but he never forgot the gratitude in their eyes. 10 years passed. Marcus was older now, his hair graying at the temples, his back aching from years of standing over steaming pots. The soup kitchen had expanded modestly, thanks to donations from the community. Every evening he served meals to the forgotten people of New Jakarta, the homeless, the refugees, the desperate. It was a Tuesday evening when the sky above the city split open with light. The ship descended silently, massive and gleaming like a pearl carved from moonlight. It was easily the size of 3 city blocks, its surface etched with symbols that pulsed with soft luminescence. Traffic stopped. People poured into the streets, staring upward with phones raised and mouths agape. The vessel hovered above Marcus's soup kitchen, and a beam of golden light extended downward, touching the cracked pavement outside his door. Marcus stood frozen in his kitchen, ladle still in hand as the front door opened. A figure stepped through, tall, regal, draped in flowing robes that seemed woven from the fabric of space itself. Behind her came 2 others, their bearing equally noble, their skin that same faint purple he remembered from a decade ago. But it was her face that made his breath catch. Older now, elegant and commanding, but unmistakably the same child who had pressed her hand to his chest all those years ago. "Marcus Chen," she said, her voice resonant and clear, speaking perfect English now. "Do you remember us?" He nodded slowly, setting down his ladle. "The children? You were starving." "We were not children," she replied, a gentle smile crossing her features. "We were heirs to the Kalem throne, fleeing an assassination attempt during a diplomatic mission to your world. Our ship was sabotaged. Our guards were dead. We crashed in your city's underbelly, injured, terrified, and alone." Marcus's eyes widened. "You were royalty?" "We are royalty," the woman corrected. "I am Crown Princess Leah something of the Kalem Empire, sovereign of 7 star systems, guardian of the celestial gates." She bowed deeply, and the figures behind her followed suit. "And we have never forgotten your kindness." "I just gave you food," Marcus said, bewildered. "Anyone would have—" "No," she interrupted firmly. "They would not have. We wandered your streets for 2 days before finding you. Doors were shut in our faces. We were chased away, spat upon, feared for being different. You alone saw 3 hungry children and asked nothing. Not our names, not our origins, not what we could offer in return. You simply fed us." She stepped forward, and Marcus noticed she held something in her hands, a small crystalline device that glowed with inner light. "In my culture, a life debt is sacred," Princess Leah something continued. "You saved the heirs to the Kalem throne. Without your intervention, we would have perished in that alley. The empire would have fallen into civil war. Billions would have suffered." Marcus shook his head. "I didn't know any of that. I was just being human," she finished softly. "Being inexplicably, impossibly compassionate to strangers who had no claim to your mercy. This is why we have studied your species over the past decade. This is why I have come personally." She extended the crystal toward him. "The Kalem Empire wishes to establish formal relations with Earth. But more than that, I wish to honor the debt I owe. This vessel, the Starweaver's Promise, is yours. Along with it comes a title, Ambassador of First Contact, with full diplomatic status across the 7 systems. You will want for nothing." Marcus stared at the crystal, then at the princess, then back at his humble kitchen where a pot of soup still simmered on the stove. "Your Highness," he said slowly, "I appreciate this more than I can say, but I can't leave. These people need me. Every night hungry people come through that door just like you did." Silence fell. The princess's companions exchanged uncertain glances. Then Leah something smiled, a radiant expression that seemed to illuminate the room. "This is why you are worthy of the honor," she said. "Very well, Marcus Chen. The ship remains yours to call upon if ever you have need. But I offer you something else." She gestured, and one of her companions produced a small seed-like object that glowed softly blue. "This is a sustenance generator," the princess explained. "Plant it in your kitchen. It will grow, producing enough nutritious food to feed 10,000 people daily in any form you desire. It will never deplete, never spoil, and it requires no resources save sunlight and water. Your work will be easier. Your reach will be limitless." Tears welled in Marcus's eyes as he accepted the seed. "Thank you," he whispered. "No, Marcus Chen," Princess Leia something replied, bowing once more. "Thank you. You taught me that true nobility is not found in titles or bloodlines, but in the choice to feed the hungry when no one is watching. The Kalem Empire will remember this lesson, and we will remember you." The royal delegation departed as silently as they had come. The great ship rose into the night sky, leaving only starlight in its wake. Marcus stood in his kitchen, holding the glowing seed, and thought about 3 frightened children who had stumbled through his door a decade ago. He planted the seed in the corner of his kitchen that very night. By morning, a magnificent tree had grown, its branches heavy with fruits and grains of every variety, enough to feed an army. And Marcus Chen, the man who had asked for nothing, continued to serve warm meals to the hungry, one bowl at a time, because that was simply what humans did.